Hello everyone, welcome to my Emmerdale channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The village of Emmerdale had always been a place where secrets lingered just beneath the surface, but nothing could have prepared Ray for the knock at his door on that fateful morning. The sun shone weakly through the mist, painting the streets with an eerie stillness. Ray, sipping his morning coffee, thought he'd hear only the usual gossip drifting from the pub, never imagining that his life was about to shatter. Dylan had been restless all week, his eyes heavy with worry that he couldn't put into words. He paced the living room, tugging at his hair, and finally, unable to hold it in, he burst into tears. The kind of tears that came from deep within, from a place of pure, uncontainable fear. Ray's heart sank as he held his son, whispering that everything would be okay, though his own gut twisted in apprehension. The sound of sirens in the distance grew louder, and a uniformed officer soon appeared at the doorstep. Ray opened the door, forcing a polite smile, though dread had already begun to gnaw at him. The officer's eyes were sympathetic yet firm, the kind of gaze that spoke volumes before words even left the lips. "Ray, we need to talk," the officer began, his tone hesitant. Ray's pulse raced, every instinct screaming that this was bad. Dylan clung to his father's leg, trembling. Ray knelt to meet his son's gaze, trying to offer reassurance he didn't feel. The words hit like a hammer. "There's been an incident. Dylan's been involved." Time seemed to freeze. Ray's mind struggled to process the jumble of words, each one heavier than the last. He tried to steady himself, to hold on to some semblance of calm, but Dylan's sobs filled the room, raw and unfiltered. Ray's heart shook as he held his son, whispering that everything would be okay, though his own gut twisted in apprehension. The emotions collided inside him: fear, anger, guilt, and an overwhelming desire to shield his son from the harshness of the world. Dylan's tears slowed as he finally felt his father's arms around him, but the anguish lingered, mirrored in Ray's own eyes. Emmerdale had seen its fair share of tragedy, but nothing compared to the feeling of helplessness standing in the living room while your child's world trembles. Ray realized that life in the village could change in an instant, leaving ordinary people caught in extraordinary pain. He wiped Dylan's face gently, speaking in soft, determined tones. "We'll face this together," he promised, though the weight of the news pressed heavily on both of them. Ray's mind raced, thinking about the next steps, the conversations they'd have, and the village that would soon buzz with whispers of what had happened. Outside, the mist thickened, hiding the world beyond their walls. But inside, father and son clung to each other, finding solace in the bond that no news, no tragedy could sever. As the officer quietly left, the silence was deafening, yet there was a spark of resilience in their hearts. Emmerdale could throw its worst at them, but Ray knew that love, courage, and unbreakable family ties would be their shield. In that moment, amidst heartbreak and tears, the drama of Emmerdale wasn't just on the streets, it was alive in the living room, in the raw emotion of a father and son confronting life's cruel twists together.